Hello everyone from Ali at 11th House Wales, and welcome to a weekly appointment. So we have talked a few times about cognitive diffusion, which is very simply not identifying with the thoughts, not investing yourself too much in the thoughts. Because when we do that, when we do identify with the thoughts and we mistake the thoughts for facts or for our own identity, then that is a bit of a minefield, and that is what we tend to do if we are depressed, for example, and the thoughts really loom large and they hold power over us. So we've done this together many times, for example, when we've done mindfulness together, and we have practiced observing the thoughts and becoming aware of what our mind was doing without following the thoughts, without getting caught up in the thoughts. And if you remember, we have used a few metaphors as well to make this easier. So we talked about seeing thoughts as waves in the sea, for example, rising and falling and rising again, or clouds in the sky. And, you look up at the sky and the sky is changing every minute. You have the clouds getting bigger and smaller and changing shape and sometimes just dissolving in the sky, and thoughts can be seen in much the same way. Or the waterfall, you are behind the waterfall, that waterfall of your mind, of your thoughts, and you can just stay dry and just look at it, just observe it without getting under it, without getting wet. So today I have a tip for you, because we can do the same with feelings and emotions as well. When there is something which makes us feel uncomfortable, whether it is physical pain, you can do this with physical pain as well, or emotional pain, emotional discomfort. There is a way, which is a very simple way, to use our imagination to turn this pain, this discomfort, into an object. And when it becomes an object, it is something that we can just observe without emotion, without passion, because it's not part of us anymore. So if there is something that you would like to work on right now, whether it is physical, whether it is emotional, then we can try this together. So I'd like you to, first of all, and you can close your eyes if it helps you, or you can keep them open, but I'd like you to single out where this pain is in the body. So just take a few seconds to home in on where this pain is. Because even if it is emotional pain, we should feel it in the body as well. We are human beings having an embodied experience. So once you locate it in the body, whether it is in the chest very often, whether it is in your stomach or in your head, might be in the shoulders, wherever it is, I'd like you to use your imagination here and become aware of the texture of the pain. What does it feel like? And if you say, no, Ali, it doesn't have a texture, what are you on about? Just ask yourself, if it did have a texture, what would it be like? I know it doesn't, but if it did, what would it be like? Is it smooth? Is it rough? What is it like? Is it grainy? Is it solid? Or is it gloopy? Or is it something liquid sloshing around? Or is it just made of air, made of gas? And once you have the texture of this emotion, this sensation, this pain that you feel in your body, then look at the shape. What is the shape of it? Or can you feel the shape? Is it round? Is it a sphere? Is it a circle? Is it a square, a cube? Or is it a spiky shape? Or maybe a knobbly shape? So you've got the texture of it, you've got the shape, what it feels like in a physical sense. And what is the size of it? How big is it? What is the space it occupies in you? Is it a tiny, concentrated little thing? Or is it more expansive? What is it like? How big is it? And can you feel the borders of it? Can you feel where it ends? And what color is it? And if it doesn't have a color, again, what if it did have a color? What color would it be then? And does it have a smell? Does it have a taste? And does it make a sound? Is it fixed in you? Or does it move around? Does it pulsate? Does it change in any way? So now that you've got all of these details and you've used all of your senses, you have objectified your pain, and that has value in itself because now it's something that you could imagine taking in your hand. And if you were to take it in your hand, what would be the weight of it? What does it feel like in your hand? But there is something else as well. Now, this has value in itself. You've objectified it, you've turned it into something that you can imagine observing without getting passionate about it, without getting distraught about it, because it's not you anymore, it's an object. But there is an extra step that you can take. And that extra step is realizing, well, all of this object with all of these characteristics is in your mind. You have just created it. So in the same way, you can also change it. So now think, how would it like to be? What would it like to be like? In what ways would it need to change in order to feel more comfortable? So let's reverse the whole process. What would the texture be like for it to feel comfortable? So play around with it and change the texture. If it's solid, you might want to change it into something liquid or a gas. And you might want to change the consistency as well. So if it's something hard or spiky or rough, you might want to turn it into something soft, like a marshmallow. Or maybe something fluffy. So keep changing it. Keep playing with it. Of course, you can change the size of it as well. So you can shrink it. Or you could expand it, because that might feel more comfortable. If you expand it, it might get more diluted. You can change the color to your favorite color. You can change the smell if it has a smell. If it didn't have a smell, then you can put a smell on it. And why not? Your favorite smell. It's your object, it's your mind, it's your imagination. You can do anything. Put your favorite smell on it. And your favorite flavor, because why not? And you can have it make a nice sound as well. Could be wind chimes. It could be bird song. It could be water splashing, waves lapping, whatever sounds you want it to make. And now that you have all of these different characteristics, you've changed the shape, texture, the feel of it, consistency, the size, the color, the way it smells, it tastes, it sounds. Well, you've got a completely different object, a completely different symbol inside yourself. And if you wanted to, you could also move it inside your body because it doesn't need to sit in the same place. But I'd like you to just take a few moments now to feel the difference. What does it feel like now compared to what it was before? Just take a few moments to just feel into it. Now that it's so different. And sometimes it really is that easy to harness our mind, to do positive things for us, to help us to feel better. So anytime this particular pain flares up, or a different pain, you can remind yourself that you actually have that different symbol, your own symbol that you have changed inside of you. Remind yourself of that one and how good it feels. If you want to, you can go through the same process again, especially if it is a different kind of pain. Just visualize it, turn it into an object, objectify it, and then change it. I really hope that you found this useful. So I will see you here again next week, same day, same time. Have a lovely week. Bye. Bye-bye.